Alright my friends, here we are at the last build guide before the Behemoth's eventual release. I figured I should probably not do a build guide for Behemoth since I can't even play him yet, so there's that. It is my sincere hope that these guides have been helping you out to just have more fun and evolve and get used to the monster and their playstyle and everything so that you can eventually start experimenting and figuring out what works for you. The Wraith has been changed since beta, but I feel this build is still in a really solid place, so let's do this. We begin again with who is this monster. Her name is Wraith, and yes, I just said her. As you can tell by the creature design, those hips don't lie, and she is indeed female. She actually started off as this little impish-like thing called the Teleporter, before they switched her design to be more curvy and Viper-inspired. Where Goliath gives you that classic monster feel and Kraken haunts your dreams, the Wraith has you jumping at every shadow and wondering what's real. So, maybe not the best pick for a first kiss. So, the Wraith's role. If Goliath is a warrior and Kraken is a mage, then the Wraith rounds out the classic RPG archetype trio by introducing an assassin to the monster side. She's the squishy, get in for a kill and get out monster with the tools to pull it off, and I'm not talking about a wrist blade and smoke bombs. Her speed, agility, stealth, and decoy define her not just as any kind of assassin, but a chaos assassin who relies on warping around the battlefield, causing confusion in order to single out targets for death. In other words, every nerd's dream girl. So for her core abilities. If we had defined the Wraith as a simple assassin, it would be hard to choose what her core abilities are because they're all helpful for that. But having defined her as a Chaos Assassin, I feel that her core abilities can be narrowed down to Supernova and Decoy. Supernova allows you to focus a hunter down quickly, which is tantamount to any successful assassination. Decoy both distracts the hunters with a clone and gives you stealth, allowing you to reposition or hide among many other uses. While Warp Blast and Abduction don't make the cut as core abilities, as I said, they're still very role focused and help Wraith get the job done. And now for the build. I've said in each of my other build guide videos that these builds are geared towards new or average players, and I just want to quickly re-emphasize that. The reason I have you put 1 point and 3 different abilities for stage 1 instead of focusing on 1 or 2 abilities is because as a new player, you need options to survive. You're going to get caught before you want to, face hunters you're not accustomed to, or maps you're new to, and having those kinds of options is just going to help you get through. That said, let's gear up. At stage 1, and if you saw my other videos, this is going to come as no surprise, you'll want to put 1 point in each of your core abilities. Supernova allows you to kill larger wildlife quickly, and even just 1 point can be really useful in killing hunters if you do fight. Decoy is a bread and butter skill with many uses, which I'll cover more in depth in another video, but suffice it to say you'll be using it from everything to sneaking, tricking hunters, escaping fights, and moving around during battle. The last point should be spent on Warp Blasts, which makes killing groups of wildlife really easy and also gives you another movement option, whether that be sticking to a hunter you're trying to kill or quickly escaping from hunters who are chasing you. Now perks. This is going to be a mouthful, so bear with me. I always recommend damage resistance if you are new to playing a monster. Once you're more comfortable, the Wraith has a lot of good options. Feeding speed, stamina increase, and movement speed are all great for getting around and evolving more quickly, as well as allowing you to reposition during battle. A damage bonus is always a plus for an assassin. Cooldown reduction can help you spam that oh so important decoy, and smell range is also a good one for sneaking around hunters and picking off loners. At stage 2, you're going to want to put 1 more point in each core ability. Supernova just increases in deadliness, while Decoy is increased in both duration and damage, allowing for better utility. The last point can be put in Abduction now, for when a hunter you're trying to assassinate is attempting to get away. Stage 3 means certain death for the hunters if you can prevent them from getting into a fortified position. As usual, spend 1 point in each core ability. Supernova makes you a whirling dervish of death, and Decoy now hits for more damage than your own basic melee attacks. It also increases in duration, allowing you enough time to breathe and think about your next move. I'd spend that last point in Warp Blast, as I've found it helpful against hunters that try to group up or jetpack away from you. Alright, and now the summary for you quick fix folks. Say that 3 times fast. At stage 1, you want 1 point in Supernova, Decoy, and Warp Blast. For perks, you can pick pretty much anything except Climb Speed and Armor Regen. At stage 2, you want 1 point in Supernova, Decoy, and Abduction, and stage 3, put 1 point in Supernova, Decoy, and Warp Blast. So, that's it for the Wraith build guide. As I mentioned before, there will be more videos with more in-depth information coming, so if you're all like, okay, so I know what abilities to pick, but I don't even know what they're doing, just subscribe. Shortly after this is uploading, I'll also be uploading some actual gameplay videos so that you can see these builds in action instead of just as like theoretical guides. As always, I hope this helped. If you have any questions or comments, put them below. I'll try and respond to everyone's as I have been so far. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you around.